Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. So we are on Menae. I'll be using the same party members because I have no other choice. And I totally forget what weapons I used. I guess I started out with the katana. I think I switch over to the scimitar once I find it. And I do respec. I basically just spec out of Cryoblast and back into Overload. And I will be speccing into Singularity for Liara. I don't know how long I'll actually use her. I use Edie once I pick her up. And I think James for his ammo power. But if I do use Liara, I will avoid using Stasis. I will just use Singularity instead, because I think Stasis is a bit too powerful. No, I'm getting to the point that I really don't care anymore. Does it really matter most of the time? Probably not. We'll see. So, Menae went really well. I don't think I died at all, actually. And yeah, I just really did not have trouble. Granted, a large portion of it is just husks. Oh, actually, I think I died against a brute of all things. I think I did. I forget why. Some mistake. But we will see that later. And I'm using the katana. And the katana's alright, I don't mind it. Nothing really special about it, but it's a good all-around shotgun, I guess. It's light, at least, if nothing else. And again, I will be skipping all the plot, most of the running, for the most part. Just picked up the Viper. I'll actually be using that later. Not this mission, but in a later mission. So just skipped a whole bunch of plot, going to the comm tower, the relay tower, whatever it's called. And oh no, husks. Actually, they're doing a lot of damage to me. Alright. And that's just another example. You know, I just did a tech detonation, not a tech detonation, but I detonated my tech armor. And it didn't kill those husks. I mean, I just don't see it. It seems of all the armor powers, it seems bad. The detonation effect seems to be largely useless. I mean, if I'm sacrificing... I'm removing my armor to do marginal damage in a small area of effect around me, and I understand that you can spec into it to make it do more damage and have a larger radius, but I still don't think it would compare... Just looking at the numbers, it would compare to the previous game's version. And, you know, you're still saddled with that huge penalty to recharge, and on top of that, I mean, you're sacrificing your armor, you no longer have your damage reduction and your bonus and all that stuff, which is the whole point of it, compared to, say, Fortification, which gives you a huge melee bonus when you purge it, so you can actually use that to construct a build around, like you can spec yourself and build around that power. I'm trying to think of words that aren't built to describe this so it's less confusing. You can take Fortification as your bonus skill and then design your character around that. Make a melee character. Take Fitness, take Ariaki armor pieces to improve melee damage, and I guarantee you I will be doing that one of these days. If not, maybe on this character. I don't know. I might wind up just taking Fortification as my bonus skill and getting rid of tech armor and just doing that. That might be fun. Either that or probably a soldier would be my other option. I totally plan on doing it eventually, though. I like to melee, I do. I really do like to melee. I really enjoy the heavy melee in this game.
The comm tower is now operational.
Nice addition. But you know, and Fortification is even the most niche of all of them. You could also just have Barrier. And Barrier... I don't know what was hitting me right there. It felt like I was being shot. Who's shooting me? There are no cannibals at this point in the game. Are the Turians shooting me? Am I not their friend anymore? There's Barrier. Barrier has a great crowd control effect, so you can actually run into a group of guys and detonate it and lift the ball, set up a warp bomb, do a bunch of damage that way. Or the most offensive of them all, Defense Matrix, and when you purge that, you just get a bonus of shields anyway. You know, it's just a second shield sort of thing. I just really do not see it in tech armor. And at the time of this video, I'm actually already like 12 episodes in when I'm doing this voiceover, and I have maxed out tech armor, and I still don't see it. Now, granted, I'm not spec'd for the detonation aspect of it, because I don't really see the point. Before I ditch it, I guess I will respec and go for it. That would only be fair. But I just have it spec'd for a little more damage reduction, and a reduction in its cooldown penalty. And what I was trying to go for with this character was make him kind of a tank. Go with as much damage reduction from tech armor as possible. Go with the damage reduction in Reeve. And I just kind of got Reeve maxed out. I haven't really been able to experiment with that much yet. And I'll try it and see what I can get away with. But I'm not huge on increasing my margin of error, so I don't really know if I'm going to need that. I might just completely wind up ditching the build. That'll be the very next thing I try, actually. Once I can play again. But first I gotta get these done and get these out. Or at least just rendered. So I have space. Uncompressed footage, or rather not uncompressed footage, but perhaps record stuff as AVI files. AVI files take up a lot of space. Like a couple minutes or 4 gig or so. So I can only record so much before I just need to start rendering to compress everything down to a smaller file size. But that's technical stuff that you probably don't care about, so I won't talk about that. Suffice it to say that I have a very large hard drive, so it's not too much of an issue. Picking up a whole bunch of crap, changing my weapon, or maybe just modding it. I do use the scimitar, though. I know I use it. Back to more combat. This is a much more difficult combat. We're now facing marauders. Marauders are scary, especially right here. I don't know if you've noticed, but I generally just use a single weapon on the Sentinel. On the Vanguard and on my Engineer, I usually use 2. But because of his recharge penalties, I just use 1. So that I'm not too neutered in that respect. So Scimitar is not an all-around weapon. It's not an all-purpose weapon, it's a close-quarters weapon. Every sense of the word. I can chip away to an extent at this range. I am behind cover, so that helps. Helps to compress the spread of pellets. But he's well beyond my range at this point that I just do terrible damage. And Reeve does not do great damage right now. It helps a bit. It does offer some nice supplemental damage, but I would need a stronger weapon than the shotgun at that range. And again, using the detonation really did not seem to do much damage. Did not do much damage to the husks around me. They were armored, I guess, but still. I'll have to experiment with it some more. Reeve is also nice in that it's instant. It doesn't have a travel time, which means, yes, you can't arc it around corners, but far more so in this game than the previous game. In fact, just it didn't happen in the previous game, but enemies, at least I don't recall it happening, enemies dodge and roll and hop out of the way of your powers really frequently in this game when they have a travel time. Reeve, they can't, because it's just you cast it and it's on them. They can't avoid it. I don't recall enemies dodging powers at all in Mass Effect 2. I could be wrong. It has been definitely a year or two since I played Mass Effect 2. So, and I don't remember that happening. Maybe it does, and if it did, though, it definitely didn't happen anywhere near as much as it does in this game. This game, it happens like every other power, they're dodging it. Like right there. I don't know why he just rolled, but he did. Yeah, right now I'm not well equipped to dealing with these guys at this range. Reeve doesn't do enough damage. I just have a scimitar. You know, I'd like to close on them, but I'm way too afraid to do so. Wanted to minimize deaths as much as possible, for the most part, until I really felt safe. Now I feel safe. Probably wind up closing on him or something. Oh no, there's 2. That's why. Eventually. I guarantee you I will be meleeing somebody at some point. Someone's going to get stabbed in the face. Do it. Do it. Do it. I'm going to be disappointed in myself if I do not stab him in the face. That's right, you stab him in the face. Well, I missed. There we go. Okay. I have to finish every battle with the last guy getting stabbed in the face. Come on. That's just standard procedure. Alright. Well, that's done. Next up, we have a turret sequence. The wonderful turret sequences that I know you guys love so much. That are so fun to watch. And I will spec as well. Definitely find myself really wanting more points as a Sentinel. Granted, I have felt that way on every class, which is good. It's good that you look forward to every level. It's good that you wish you had more points at any given time to get further into the build. Especially on the Sentinel, there's so many things that I wanted to improve. I'm really tempted, assuming that my tank idea doesn't work out, and it might work out fine, the whole tech armor for damage reduction and then Reeve for damage reduction thing. Maybe it'll work out well, but even if it does, it might not suit my playstyle. Assuming that it doesn't, I will definitely be trying out either barrier or fortification, and then going back into Cryoblast, and I think I'll just totally forego Warp entirely, and just go for tech detonations with Overload and Cryoblast. I assume that you can detonate a Cryoblast with an Overload. They are both tech powers. Just Overload doesn't do too much damage against the red bar, but still, if they have a sliver of health, I would think it would work. I guess I could always try speccing into Carnage or something. That's what I like about a new playthrough. There's a lot of possibilities, there's a lot of experimentation, and now I finally have every single ability unlocked, so I don't have to worry about waiting for a bonus skill, a bonus power. Nice. I do feel kind of bad that I get to start the game with a bonus power, whereas, you know, in your very first playthrough, you have to wait a little while before you unlock one. Not too long, though. A lot of them are unlocked pretty quick. It's just their second power, you know, each NPC, each squad member has two. The second one takes a while to unlock. Some more so than others. Some longer than others. Totally missed that grenade. Didn't think he would charge right then. But on my very first playthrough, I had to deal with it, and now it just makes things far more entertaining. So whatever, I don't care. Of all the advantages, that's one I'll just deal with having. It makes things more entertaining. I think I wind up just dying to husks or something. So I lose track of them. I think they wind up face raping me. Yeah, I'm gonna die. How embarrassing. It does happen every now and then. You just lose track of them. I was kind of stuck in a corner on some cover, and then the stupid brute charged and herp-de-derp-de-derp. Just used a lot of grenades on that brute, and he's not even at half health. Now I wonder, I never really had this opportunity on my Vanguard, but if I use Reeve on this brute, and then follow that with a Warp, if I had Warp, I don't right now, could I do Warp Bombs on the brute, even when he has armor? I assume, I would think you could. That would make sense. It's one of the benefits of Reeve, it's a persistent thing, but Warp does that too, if I recall. Now, it's more like it is, see, I just haven't used Warp very much. I haven't really had a character that had ranged biotic detonations yet. I just, you know, had my engineer, didn't have biotics, and then my Vanguard, which was, you know, I could set up biotic detonations, but I used charge to detonate them. So I'm not really totally clear on all these things. It seems like Warp is similar to its Mass Effect 1 incarnation, where it's a dot now, and it also can be spec'd to increase the damage done against them, and it was more of just a damage nuke, just direct damage attack in Mass Effect 2. Kind of a hybrid between the two, since you can still use it for Warp Bombs, which were added in Mass Effect 2. But we are now on the final fight of this mission, and I do one-shot it, despite my limitations. Unless I die from this grenade, no. Get out of my way. And it really wasn't that bad. Big part of this fight is just not wasting the Reaper Blackstar. Just killing that first brute, and then going after that Reaper Blackstar and killing the second two brutes. Once you do that, there's really nothing left in the fight. The brutes are by far the biggest issue of this fight, because the brutes keep you out of cover and allow the marauders to kill you. That's what makes it difficult. When there's no brutes, there's just marauders in cover, and I mean, you have all day to kill them in that case. I'm actually being a little risky here. I'm taking risks here, because as soon as I kill this cannibal, other guys are going to spawn, and they actually can spawn right here even.
Moving. Right behind you.
They've spawned. Who knew? Lift grenade in the face. Oh, I should have thrown him. That would have been amusing. So using a bunch of frag grenades on this brute, I want to burst him down really quickly, just take him down really quickly. I do kind of get myself boxed into a corner, I think, which almost kills me if I recall. Unless that's something else that I'm thinking of. I honestly don't know anymore. Oh, I ran out of ammo too. I also forgot that that happened. It's kind of unfortunate. He's about dead though. Yeah, right here. I do. I get boxed into a corner. Almost die. Come really close. Really amazed I didn't die there. I even missed the Reeve to finish him off. But he dies. I think my party members took him out. That was incredibly close, and I was very lucky that he didn't kill me, or the Marauders didn't kill me. I think they were being tied up by my party members. Luck was definitely on my side, so I'm making sure to grab this Black Star while I have an opening, and now I'm just playing the waiting game. I'm just waiting for the two brutes to spawn. And not only for them to spawn, but for them to get close enough and to get grouped together so that I can kill both of them with one shot. I don't want to have to deal with one, just kill one, have to deal with the other. There's one. I saw the meteor strike. So I could actually kill him right here. You know, I could hit him, but I want to wait for the other one to come. And there he comes. There he goes. Another comet striking. Another meteor striking. Now they're both together. Fire. Spawn. And the fight is won. I mean, that's the fight. Once those brutes are down, there's just nothing left.
Roger that. Understood.
I have maybe 5 Marauders to deal with now. This was actually kind of annoying, if I recall. I couldn't really close on these guys, and I had no real long-range abilities. And they were both positioned near these boxes, which makes it difficult to hit them. I shouldn't have thrown that lift grenade there. I should have waited. I'm still kind of getting the feel of how much damage lift grenade does against different defenses, against shields and whatever. I should have waited. I should have used an overload and then a lift grenade, and that would have actually lifted him out of cover. Lifted him out of cover, and I could have just thrown him, and he would have been gone. Literally. That's okay. Just makes this take a little bit longer than it needed to. Also trying to... I believe you can actually detonate biotic detonations using tech powers, or at least Carnage seems to work that way, and I would assume Carnage is a tech power, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's classified as a combat power, and they can detonate both kinds of detonations. I don't know. Possible. I definitely feel like I have detonated a Reeve with a Carnage. Just need to make sure the Carnage finishes him off, like right there. It didn't do enough damage. It's still low level, so it's not great. I think this is the only Marauder left. Maybe there's one other guy. Really don't want to die. I'm out of metagel. Just 1 tick of health. There's one more Marauder. Probably gonna just punch him in the face though, regardless. Yep. Of course. And little do I know, there is one incredibly powerful enemy left. Waiting. Watching. Am I done? Oh, oh, there's a cannibal. Oh no. Why? Why? Why did it just take like 6 shots to kill him? Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and have a good one.